Hello Susan, this is my assignment project to explain a little bit more about the Merchant of Venice and some interesting facts about Shakespeare. I hope you like it. Everyone knows William Shakespeare. So William Shakespeare was an English poet, playwright and actor born in 1564. So he was a real interesting man. He wrote over 38 plays, 2 narrative poems and 154 sonnets, which is a different type of poem. He was a really creative man and he really enjoyed to write. At first, when he started, he did common plays and common poems as well, with rhetorical questions and more understanding of within each character. But then he innovated with different types of plays. So he had 3 main play themes, which were comedy, history and tragedies, and The Merchant of Venice is a comedy within lots of other plays he had done, for example A Midsummer Night's Dream and 12 Nights. So the context of the play is a really important feature we have to get in our minds before understanding the real play. So The Merchant of Venice, with the pass of the time, it has considered a really difficult play to have been created in the 16th century. In England, at those times, there were no Jews at all. There were lots of stereotypes between them. This is because in the year 1290 or 1290, there was an edict of expulsion, so no Jews were allowed to be in England, and if there were any, they had to practice their religion in secret. So this play acknowledges this difference in between the stereotypes of Christians and Jews, and Shakespeare really got in mind. He wanted to express his point of view about these stereotypes. So I've just analyzed the characters which I have already read about and that I understand their points of view. So in scene 1 we have Antonio, Bassanio, Lorenzo, Graziano and Portia. Although Portia doesn't appear in scene 1, in between Antonio and Bassanio, they have been talking about her, and we can acknowledge some of the information that it's important about her. For example, we have that she's a really wealthy girl and she's really pretty, and I think she's the daughter of a really important man in Venecia. So Antonio, he's a rich Venetian man which is having problems with his sales. He has a ship company and is producing spices. Bassanio is there to ask Antonio for some money so he can propose to Portia and become a rich family. Lorenzo is also a good friend with Bassanio, and Graziano cares a lot for him and he does a lecture in this scene. In Act 1, Scene 1, Antonio is really worried about his ship not arriving to its destiny. This is because he may lose lots of money, as spices were really expensive at those times. They were also something extraordinary which wasn't common in their culture. So Bassanio is asking Antonio for money so that he can pay a loan to Portia's father. This is because in the olden times, when someone from a lower class marries someone in the higher class, they have to show their appreciation towards them, that they really want to be with that person. And Bassanio is desperate, so he asks his friend Antonio for his money, and then he will give it back. But there's a problem. Antonio has invested all of his money in the ships, so he cannot give him any of the money. Graziano also in this scene does a lecture to Antonio. This is because he's really sad. At first they think that he's in love, but then they understand what's really happening. So Graziano tells him that he cannot be a serious man all of his life. This is because Antonio is a really lively person and he has to be happy.